Alright, I'm trying this mic out, y'all. So, my content's for educational purposes only. Can't stress enough for you guys to do your own research. Praise my content, throw in the comments any errors you find. None of us have been alive long enough to know all that transpired in the past, and none of us can live long enough to know all there is to learn. Alright, so as promised, part 3, defeating corruption by law. So I'm going to just get into it from where I left off. The next portion is labeled all debt collectors. So corporations of all kinds fall into the classifications of debt collectors. If a corporation is attempting to collect money from you, it is a debt collector. It must act within the Fair Debt Collection Act, 15 U.S.C. 1692 A through N. Whether it be credit card company, auto finance company, loan company, bank, mortgage company, or other lending institution, all are accountable to law. When you understand the principles of law, you cannot be defeated by lies of what is or what is not law, spouted by incompetent attorneys who are ignorant of law by law. Article 1, Section 10 prohibits titles of nobility issued by states. All attorneys have unlawfully accepted the title of Esquire. Thus, they are clearly incompetent in law and should not be relied upon as a source of legal advice. Their acceptance of a British atoned registry, i.e. bar, title of nobility established their loyalty to the crown. Challenge them as foreign agents. 22 U.S.C. 611. Gotta read that again for y'all. Gotta read that again for y'all. Okay, it says all attorneys have unlawfully accepted the title of Esquire. Thus, they are clearly incompetent in law and should not be relied upon as a source of legal advice. Their acceptance of a British atoned registry, i.e. bar, title of nobility, established their loyalty to the crown. Crown of England, that is. Crown of England. Crown of England. Challenge them as foreign agents under 22 U.S.C. 611. All right. Principles of law to remember. No attorney can appear in court without the physical human being he represents. Agents cannot testify for principals. Challenge every witness to prove they are the principal by asking for their driver's license proving they are the principal, i.e. Bank of America. If they are not, demand their testimony be removed from the record as hearsay testimony. An imaginary person cannot appear. No agent can speak for them. All agents are defined by this process. Wow. Gotta read that again for y'all. Principles of law to remember. No attorney can appear in court without the physical human being he represents, he or she. Agents cannot testify for principals. Challenge every witness to prove they are the principal by asking for their driver's license proving they are the principal, i.e. Bank of America. State of Delaware, United States of America. If they are not, demand their testimony be removed from the record as hearsay testimony. An imaginary person cannot appear. No agent can speak for them. All agents are defined by this process, or defeated. All agents are defeated by this process. Wow. I wish I knew this stuff back in the day when I was going through my stuff. Wow. Number 2, no debt collector can collect any debt without the original wet ink signature. No, without the original wet ink signed contract being present in court. Again, no debt collector can collect any debt without the original wet ink signed contract. Not a copy, the same piece of paper that you signed. Copies are not admissible. Object to them as forgeries. I don't remember this contract. My signature could have been copied from anywhere. This contract is the subject matter of the court's jurisdiction. Without it, the court has no jurisdiction to proceed. The court must dismiss for lack of subject matter jurisdiction. If a judge refuses your lawful demands, challenge him as a last resort as outlined above. Then send a petition for impeachment of judge to your state representative and demand his removal from public office. In this manner, all in court, hold on, this don't make sense. It says, in this manner, in court become accountable for their conduct. Oh, in this manner, all in court become accountable for their conduct. Okay. All right. In the words of the great Robert Fox, when you go to court, you have 2 options: accept what the judge says without controversy and suffer the consequences, or fight for your rights. I believe we have just went along for far too long. I say challenge every case, no matter how small. By representing yourself, you are competent and must be respected by your public servants. Their failure to act properly is grounds for their removal from public office. When you hire an attorney, you declare yourself incompetent and in need of court direction. You are a ward of the court. I can speak for myself, and so can you. With a basis of understanding and your refusal to let those issues slide, the court is forced to act in your interest. Failure to do so establishes a conspiracy against rights under 18 U.S.C. 241 by the judge and attorney to deny you your rights in court. Contact the U.S. Attorney's Office and file a criminal complaint if they refuse jurisdiction is established for JAG in admiralty jurisdiction under 28 U.S.C. 1333. File your complaint with the Judge Advocate General's Office in Washington. Other tools of interest. Every American should study and learn the Constitution for the United States of America and their individual state constitution. These can be obtained through the Secretary of State's office in your state's capital. Usually they are free. The United States codes are as follows. I'm gonna read these out because it can definitely be expensive to get all of these in a library for yourself. So I'm gonna read them out and read what they deal with. And that way you guys could rewind, pause, write it down, look it up if it's, if you have a need to figure it out. I gotta get used to this mic. I ain't used to it, y'all. So work with me, at least till I get a mic stand. I done forgot to get the damn mic stand. I was gonna use my other one, but it don't seem to work. So I gotta take it back. Anyway, like I said, work with me, man. I gotta get used to holding this microphone and whatnot. But this is just so that way y'all can hear me, because it's too many times, too many videos I did where everybody's saying, yo, good shit, but I barely could hear you. So this should eliminate that issue. All right, United States codes are as follows. 18 U.S.C. 4, misprision of felony, refusing to prosecute felony crime. 18 U.S.C. bank bonds is currency. 18 U.S.C. 514, fictitious obligation prohibited. 18 U.S.C. 2113, bank robbery, commercial or private. 18 U.S.C. 241, conspiracy against rights. 18 U.S.C. 891 through 894, extortionate credit transactions. 18 U.S.C. 1961, definitions of racketeering activities. 18 U.S.C. 1951, interference with commerce. 18 U.S.C. 1001, fraud. 18 U.S.C. 1341, mail fraud. Okay. All right. U.S.C. 1343, wire fraud. 18 U.S.C. 1344, bank fraud. 18 U.S.C. 2381, treason. Note, the United States Supreme Court has repeatedly held that any judge who acts without jurisdiction is engaged in an act of treason. U.S. versus Will, 499 U.S. 200, with a comma behind that, then 216, comma behind that, S, what is that? Supreme Court, 471, comma, 66, L.ed, I forget what that means, so pardon me, 2D, 392, comma, 406, in 1980 in parentheses. Cohens versus Cohens versus Virginia, 19 U.S., and then 6 week, in parentheses, 264, comma, 404, comma, 5 LED, L period, ED, 257, and 1821 in parentheses. Okay. Yeah, I'm a little out of it, out of practice as far as with that capital L period, ED, capital E, lowercase d. I used to know what it meant, but I ain't, been looking in cases in so long. Last time I looked in cases, I was incarcerated, and that was over 12, 13 years ago. Anyway, 18 U.S.C. 2382, misprision of treason. 5 U.S.C. 556 D, with a comma, and then 557 and 706. Once due process is denied, all jurisdiction ceases. Wow, okay, that's a strong one. That is a strong one right there. Okay. 10 U.S.C. 333, interference with federal or state law. 28 U.S.C. 1333, admiralty jurisdiction. 28 U.S.C. 372, oaths of judges. Ooh. 5 U.S.C. 557, C3, findings of facts and conclusions of law required for all decisions. 42 U.S.C. 1981, equal rights under the law. 42 U.S.C. 1983, civil rights violations. 15 U.S.C. 1692 A through N, Fair Debt Collection Act. 22 U.S.C. 611, foreign agents of foreign principals. 46 U.S.C. 781, Public Vessels Act. H.J.R. 192, Act of Congress, Corporate Congress. Banks cannot refuse currency. I'm going to read that one again for y'all. H.J.R. 192, that is House Joint Resolution 192, y'all. Acts of Congress, Corporate Congress. It says banks cannot refuse currency. I suggest, whoever can handle it, go get you a financial dictionary and find out what all the forms of currency, so that way you'll know how to get into that piece. Let me just say that. 31 USC 3123, payment of obligation and interest on public debt. 31 USC 5103, commercial instrument is legal tender. Commercial instrument is legal tender. That's 31 USC 5103. 28 USC 33, Federal Bureau of Investigations, limits and restrictions. 28 USC 33, the FBI's limits and restrictions. 31 USC 5118, commercial instruments are legal tender for payment of debt. Oh my goodness. 31 USC 5118, commercial instruments are legal tender for payment of debts. Okay, then it gets into the UCCs. UCC equals Uniform Commercial Codes. These regulate all financial institutions engaged in commerce. Again, the Uniform Commercial Codes regulate all financial institutions engaged in commerce. UCC 3-503, dishonor of commercial instruments. UCC 3603, full payment refused, debt is paid in full. UCC 4-1051, bank means a person engaged in the business of banking. UCC 9-105, records, authenticated, identifiable, and unalterable. OMG. Okay, this is the last page. I'm gonna wrap it up right here. It says, from here you can start your own quest for knowledge. Everything you learn, know, and can communicate is yours for your lifetime and those you share it with. Educate the young, because they will need it. Teach a friend and help him understand. When you speak our law, do it with conviction, because you speak for all people against injustice. When we all stand together in knowledge, there will be no controversy we cannot overcome. I give you this gift of knowledge. Now know how you treat it determines its value, trash or treasure. I offer it in the age-old principle, give a man a fish and you have fed him for a day. Teach him how to fish and you have fed him for a lifetime. And at the end it says, God's will be done. Okay. All right. So hopefully you guys found this last installment of Defeating Corruption by Law helpful, insightful, and beneficial. As it said, the way you utilize this information determines its value. So I give it to you guys in good faith that, you make it do what it do for yourself. That said, I'm going to go ahead and get off here because I got another one to do that I think some people need to hear. So y'all be easy, man. It's a full moon tonight. Be easy, be safe. Catch y'all on the next one.